Hello, namaste. It's lovely to connect with you today. My name is Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to share some guidance for this weekend. And it's a new month. So Saturday the 1st, Sunday the 2nd of September is why I'm here. Extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. If you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my Speed of Light Oracle cards, and I'm looking for the best card for Saturday the 1st of September, and then the best card for Sunday the 2nd of September, and then the best card for the theme for Saturday and Sunday. I'm not doing personal requests for guidance here today. This is general guidance for everyone. So I'm sure that you've been led here for a reason. So just take on board what feels right, what resonates with you, what makes sense, what fits into your life easily, and just let the rest go. Just think of this as a guide only, and we'll see what happens. So hello, it's lovely to see you all. Hi Mandy, hi Ellen, hi Sarah, hi Judy. So I'm going to share the guidance and then I'm going to hang around. Hi Raven. Then I'm going to hang around for a little bit to have a little chit chat. So if you want to hang around for a bit longer, then I will be here. But for now, I'm going to share the guidance just in case, and for those that don't want to hang around for a chit chat, or if you're busy, because I'm sure all of us have a life other than Facebook, right? Would be nice, wouldn't it? Sometimes it feels like Facebook is our life, doesn't it? But it's quite funny. Anyway, let's look for the best card now for Saturday, the 1st of September. So if it's not Saturday for you yet, it won't be far away, I'm sure. So you can think of this as guidance in advance. I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia, and it is Saturday here at 4:47 p.m. So that's my current time, this moment. Maybe the same time as you, maybe in your past, maybe in your future. I think only New Zealand is ahead of this time zone, so waves to you if you're in New Zealand. Let's look for the best card for Saturday, the 1st of September. I'm just shuffling till I feel I need to stop, holding a clear intention of what I'm doing, which is looking for Saturday's card. I'm going to stop shuffling, split the deck into two, because that's the way I pull my cards. And I'm going for this card for Saturday. It's card 10, called Action Taking. It says, move on, horizon, forward, and let go. This card talks about allowing the sun to set on old parts of our life now. Old parts of our life that haven't been working for a while. Got a cat here or something tickling my face. So letting the sun set on parts of our life that haven't been working for a while. We'll know what they are. Sometimes we kind of gloss over these things, sometimes denying or in some ways fooling ourselves that things are okay, whereas we kind of know underneath that maybe something's not quite right. So these things, or this thing that's not quite right, might be revealed at the lead up even to Saturday. And on Saturday is a very supportive time to close that door now and to let that sun set on that old part of our life, to let that chapter of our life close perhaps. And that will give us then the room and the space and the readiness to move on and let the sun rise on the new dawn, to let the new door open, or open actually the new door in our life of where we want to be going into. So don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of letting something go so that you can make room for something to come in its place, something better to come forward perhaps. We don't know until we close those doors. But we have to trust that something better is going to come into the place where the old was. So have the courage to take action if you need to. There's a lot of action and movement in this card. So it talks about a day quite productive, a day of movement, a day of action and getting things done. We might feel like we're on the go from early in the morning, perhaps till just before we go to bed at night. So there's this sense of action and activity happening for the most part on Saturday. But on a deeper level, if you're needing to close a door in your life or close a chapter, have the courage to do so, or consider how you can do that. But sit with it first. Make sure you're really sure and clear that this is the step that you need to take. Until you know, until you have clarity, you might just kind of sit on the fence a little bit, and that's okay. Just because something doesn't feel quite right doesn't mean you need to promptly close and slam a door shut immediately. Sometimes we need to sit in it and just make sure that's really what we want to do. And it's okay to do that. So if that's a space you're in, just give yourself permission to be in that space, on the fence, if that's how you feel right now. I don't tend to take action unless I feel it and know within my whole being that that's the direction I need to take. Unless I'm feeling really rebellious, and if I'm in a frustrated, angry, rebellious space, I will usually do the opposite of what I feel like I want to do just for the heck of it. So sometimes I kind of run like that, but not very often. So just see how you go and trust what feels right for you. Get to know your intuition because it will guide you forward. So that's Saturday's guidance. I'm now looking for the best card for Sunday, the 2nd of September. So Sunday the 2nd, let's see what comes up for you. For us, actually. We've got we had something happen in India. Sending you lots of love. I don't follow the news, so I'm not sure what or if anything has happened. My picture's frozen. Oh, I trust I have a good stream. So sending you lots of love if you're struggling or if your area is struggling. So Sunday the 2nd of September, we have this. New beginnings. I love this. This is a new card we haven't seen for a while. It's card 27, risk taking it's called. And it says journey, unknown, beginnings, confidence. This is talking about stepping out into the unknown, to take a risk and follow our heart on Sunday. So to step out of our comfort zone and out into new adventures, to new possibilities, new potentials. Even if we fall flat on our face, at least we've tried it. Some things are going to work. Some new things we try are going to steer us in a whole new direction, which will be right for us, or which will mold our life in some way. We will look back on that adventure and go, hey, that changed us for the good. There will be other paths that we start, or adventures that we are excited about undertaking, and they might not last for very long. We might fall flat on our face. It might be a dead end, if you like. And that's okay too, because we still learn on that journey. And sometimes it's those dead ends, sometimes it's falling flat on our face that then reveals perhaps a new path or a new something that we might not have seen or noticed before if we hadn't have gone down that particular track. So just because something might not happen the way we want doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. Doesn't mean that that's the end. It's usually a stepping stone to something better. So no matter what the outcome might or might not be, try not to forecast it. Try not to assume or have expectations about how things are going to turn out, but just have the courage and trust in the steps that you take. And if it feels right in that moment, take it, run with it, try it, go on an adventure, see what happens. Let yourself be surprised. So this is all about new beginnings. It's about taking a risk. It's about starting new adventures. So if this is something that really speaks to you, something that you've been thinking about lately, or you've been talking about it, then this is your confirmation to go ahead. Sunday's very supportive to support you in this. Maybe plan some things, take action if you need to, and do what you need to do to take those next steps forward. So there's a lot of new energy coming through for a lot of us at this time, which is quite exciting. Scary at times because the new energy brings the unknown, but it's okay. We don't know, or we can't turn that unknown energy into something familiar until we step into it. So we have to have courage during this time. So nice big breaths, and breathe and build your courage, your confidence and your personal power by working with the power of your breath. Take a deep breath and find the courage to take that step forward. Find the courage to say what you need to say, to close that door, to open the new door. It all starts from us, from you, from this moment. So I trust that makes sense for your Sunday. I'm now looking for the best card for the theme, actually. The theme card for Saturday and Sunday. So the theme card will help us tie these days together and help us see the bigger picture for Saturday and Sunday. The 1st and 2nd of September, it's just crazy how fast the time is just speeding by, which makes me personally realise even more how precious our days are, how precious our moments are, because days are just flying by. Months and years are flying by. So trying to enjoy every moment and not take anything for granted is my philosophy at the moment. So the theme card, I trust the best card for the majority of us is this, which is a very interesting to throw into the mix. So this talks about pause. So with all that action, confidence, new beginnings and movement, which has come through the other two cards for the weekend, this adds a slowing down and almost a break to that energy. So let's just look at this card first before I talk more about it. It's card 25 called Pause, and it says hold, time, transition, suspension and limbo. So this brings a pause, almost a break, putting the brake on this weekend, which kind of suggests to me that there's a lot of stuff that we're thinking about doing. There's a lot of stuff we're planning on doing and planning on taking action with, but we might not feel or be able to take a lot of physical action with especially our long-term plans at this time. Some of us may feel like we're in limbo. Being in limbo is kind of that space in between a door closing and a door opening in our life. And we're kind of stuck in between these two places, if you like. So we can feel a bit unsettled, unsure about where we're going, what we might need to do next and that sort of thing. So that's quite common when this card comes up. So there is a great purpose to what we're going through at this time and always. But let's use our pause time to rest and use our pause time wisely. So if we're feeling active and then we have a bit of a pause or a bit of a break for part of the day, let's hold ourselves in that space. Let's not waste our time. Let's not procrastinate too much or at all this weekend, because every moment is valuable, whether we're planning our next move, whether we're taking action, whether we're closing a door, opening a new door, or whether we're resting and healing and nurturing and mending. These are all valuable steps and phases and moments within our weekend and within our time at this moment. So that's the pause card, adding a bit of a break to the energy. A break as in, let's put the brake on. The cat wants to come in, so just excuse me a moment. Come on. Come on. Which probably means she'll be up to visit very soon if she can get up, because she loves. It was so funny last night. I was recording 3 or 4 meditations for patrons and our Pillar of Light meditation for September, and I was just on. I had my headphones, just doing audio and recording it. And I think the cat thought I was doing a video because she's straight up, like right in front of where I was, trying to get my attention. I actually had to throw her into my daughter's room and shut the door just so I could concentrate on the meditations. She's so funny. She's sitting here next to me now. So thanks so much for watching. I've used my Speed of Light Oracle cards today. These have been created by me, completely self-published. If you want to learn more about them or start working with them, you can have a look or learn more on my website at templeofbalance.com.au. Don't go anywhere if you have time, because I'm going to be hanging out for 10 or 15 minutes to have a chit chat. Here's Puss. She's purring. She loves being on video. Of course, she loves being on video. Although I think she just thinks I'm talking to her. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you want to connect more privately, just send us a message through our website. So I have a couple of healing events coming up next week. On Monday, that's this Monday, the 3rd of September, is our healing event for my Pillar of Light family. So we're doing it early in the month this time, so that'll be on Monday. That's a private healing event in our closed group, so I look forward to connecting with you guys then. Or if you want to be a part of it, just have a look on my website. And also our patron healing ceremony, the first of 2 for September, will be taking place next week. It's not going to be a live event, but I've collected a ton of little rocks today, a bucket full, and I'm going to write everyone's name who's on my healing list, my patrons on my healing list, and we're going to imagine those rocks are seeds, and the intention is to plant the seed of new beginnings for everyone on my healing list. So I'll be finding some fertile ground somewhere in Tasmanian wilderness, and I'll be recording that and connecting with you all then. So I look forward to that. That'll be coming up by the end of this coming week. So check it out if you want to learn more or participate at my Patreon page. So you can learn about these things on my website. Just go to templeofbalance.com.au and you can look up the family tab. It has the Pillar of Light family, the Patreon option as well, if that's something you want to look into, or anything else that you might want to explore on my website if you resonate with my work. Please have a look. Yeah, so thank you so much. So if you're going, thanks so much for connecting and watching today. I'm going to be hanging out for another 10 or 15 minutes to chit chat. So I'll be saying hello. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments, but please know that I'm not doing readings. So no readings today. But if you have a question about my journey, or if you'd like some advice on anything, or if your thoughts on something, I'll certainly be honest with, I've got strong opinions on things, so if you have questions, let me know. So thank you. Mandy, hello. Mandy says, I always enjoy these. Thanks, Mandy. Raven says, if you had your hair done, it looks different, but good. Actually, I haven't cut my hair since May. This is all just grown out short hair, which is very long for me because it was extremely short, as you know. And I've only just pinned this top part back. But I'm not growing my hair long. I'm getting ready to cut it off because I cut my own hair because I'm an ex-hairdresser. So when I feel spring is in the air and I feel motivated by the warmth, I'll be chopping off my hair again because I much prefer it short. Too long for me right now. That's the long answer, but thanks, Raven. Hi, Anne. Anne says, I always get the urge to scroll down so as to see the cat. I love that, Anne. Here she is, look. She's purring madly, still thinks I'm talking to her, don't you? So this is Puss, and she adopted us, actually. So she belonged to the next door neighbour at our old house, and the next door neighbour moved and took the cat, but the cat kept coming back to the house, which she wasn't living at, but she used to hang around always outside our doors when we were doing energy work, like healing work or meditations or drumming or anything like that. She'd always sit outside the door and watch and listen. And so once she was hanging around for about a year, finally decided that this other lady wasn't going to come back and get her, so we kind of adopted her, if you like, or she adopted us. But we don't know her name, so we just call her Puss, which is original, but she answers to it, so that's good. And thanks, Anne. Hello, Mandy, and she's molting at the moment because we're heading towards spring, so lots of long cat hair hanging around. Thanks, Gretchen. So does anyone have a question or anything that you would like to talk about today? No readings though, but if you have anything that you would like to pose, I will be hanging around for a little while, if you like. Good morning, Fiona. Mandy says, I have 2 kitties, Scotty and Charlie boys. One's black and one's grey. Sounds wonderful. Hi, Jans. Jan says, I read one of your postings recently about ego and fear. I got so much out of the post. Thank you. Thanks, Jans. I'm so pleased. I wrote that a little while ago. It's interesting, isn't it? I love exploring different things like that. Hi, Donna. Hi, Ellen. Ellen says, do you have advice about managing the loss of a loved one? Yeah, I do actually. I found, of course, I've lost loved ones throughout my life. I think the most impactful for me was a young member of our family. He was only 18 and he was in a coma for 4 weeks and then passed away. And a cousin, my ex-husband's cousin, so a cousin in the family, and that actual time was pivotal for me. It actually forced me into a big period of change. But what I did learn about grief is that because I was struggling after he passed, I was really struggling to accept that he wasn't going to be here anymore and that this had actually happened. So I found I kept wanting to hold on. So I kept wanting to almost live in the past, wanting that not to have happened, wanting him to be here, and, you know, how unfair that was, and how hurtful it was. Grief kept pulling me back to when he was here, and I found that the only way that I could, I don't know if move on sounds a little bit insensitive, but I don't mean it in an insensitive way. I mean, how could I keep functioning in my life? And I had to find a way to accept that this had happened. I had to find a way to accept something that I didn't want to accept. I didn't want it to have happened. So I found through that process afterwards and the months to follow that I really had to find a way to accept, to just accept it now. So the way that worked for me to find acceptance was to realise how lucky I was to still be here today, and to, you know, I've said it before, for me to think that I'm living my life on behalf of those loved ones who have passed away and on behalf of my ancestors who aren't here any longer. So when I started looking at it in that way, that, hey, I'm so fortunate to be here right now and I can live my best life like I was living 100, 1,000 lives for all of those who have come before me and those who I've lost. So that gave me a new lease on life and actually prompted me and propelled me to make big changes in my life of areas that I just tolerated, and tolerating wasn't good enough anymore for me, because I realised that life is too short and I've just got to get out and live it. So I think the big thing that I learned personally, which may help, is that in some way to find a way to accept, to come to terms and accept what has happened, so that you, and perhaps a thing or a way of thinking, like for me it was thinking that I'm living on behalf of all of those who have walked this earth before, and I feel very grateful for that. That was my motivator to help me find acceptance. It doesn't mean that I thought that it was okay that it happened. It just helped me be able to get on with my life. And, you know, I still have my moments of sadness, I guess we could say, but for the most part, it's given me the space to be able to get into my life and really live it as fully as possible. So I don't know if that helps, but that's something that I've really learned from especially that particular time of grief about 10 years ago. Actually, it was pretty much almost exactly 10 years ago. So I trust that helps, Ellen, and sending you lots of love. Melissa says, do your kids have all your talents? They're artistic, so if you mean artistically, they're quite artistic, especially my daughter, who's still at school. My son is doing an apprenticeship in the building industry, so he doesn't pursue his creative interests as much as he used to at school, but my daughter certainly is going down a creative path. She's very creative. Musically, though, not, because I played the trumpet and I was big into music during primary school and high school. And then I stopped once I started my hairdressing focus, and then when I had children, and I had a 24-year break of not playing any musical instrument and reading music and stuff, and I've just taken that back up again 3 years ago. So I kind of think, oh, you know, I wish I'd taken the musical instrument up again when my children were younger, just to have that influence around. But, you know, well, we can't do everything, can we? But yes, they do have some of my talents, I guess. Thank you. Julie, hello. Julie says, we are on the verge of autumn now and spring for you. Lucky. What do the different seasons mean for you? I guess personally, I like to be warm, so I just enjoy spring and summer, but I am becoming more accepting of winter. Winter's becoming a little bit of a trend here in Tasmania, so we're having winter festivals and things. We used to sort of hibernate during winter down here in Tasmania, but it's becoming a little bit more trendy. So I guess for me personally, I tend to get my energy levels amp up a lot when the sun's out. So I think it's just sort of a personal how I'm feeling day by day a little bit. And I trust that sort of helps answer your question, Julie. Thank you. Hello, Don. Don says, how did you get introduced to using cards? They are so accurate with every video we watch. Well, that's great, Don. Thank you. Well, I started reading cards. Well, I was given my first, well, before I was given my first deck of cards, I was very interested in astrology and dreams and palmistry and things like that. And I don't know how it happened to be, but my mother who was brought up in a very strict religion, a Sept, exclusive brethren. She wasn't allowed to, of course, do anything much at all until she actually broke free of the religion when she was 18. So I don't know how she came to have a deck of tarot cards. I'm assuming someone gave them to her. And I don't think she ever used them, because when I was about 14, she decided to give them to me. So that was the start of me reading cards. And I studied them and laid them out on the floor every night in the lounge and just studied them intently. And I remember when I was in grade 11 and 12, I used to have people lined up in the cafeteria for readings. So at lunchtime and breaks, I'd be getting the tarot cards out and have people lined up for their guidance. So that's what started for me. So that was about... my maths isn't that good. What year was it in when I was 14? It was about 1990 when I got my first deck of tarot cards. And then, you know, I think the key to any type of divination like this, whether you're using cards or palmistry or a crystal ball, is to really trust in your intuition. So when I started Temple of Balance in 2005 and I started this work full time, I learnt very quickly, because I didn't have someone sitting in front of me to confirm anything I was saying. I had to learn very quickly how to trust in my cards and my intuition 100%. So I just kind of dive in, and over the years, over the last 13 years, I've learnt to trust more and more in what I have to say and what the cards are telling me. And it doesn't mean that I think I'm right or that I think that my intuition is right for everyone, because I know that's not the case. I just trust in it so much that I have zero doubt, and I really think that leads or lends itself to a clear and strong reading. So I might not be able to justify or explain why I'm saying something or why I sent something or why that card's come up, but I kind of trust my intuition around it. I don't know if that makes sense. It's kind of an interesting subject to me, but thanks, Don. Mandy says, I saw a rainbow today and my brother said it was happy birthday from my dad from heaven because he knew I loved rainbows. Exactly. And our loved ones do continue to present those signs and that cross our paths, don't they, Mandy? It's just wonderful to have that confirmation. And, you know, often we will say, without even thinking about it, that, oh, that was grandma or that was my friend or whoever that left me that feather. And we sort of have that instinct. And then we think about it and maybe try and rationalize it. But our instinct, our intuition, and the thought that we have straight away is that person. So we can trust that. I think too many times we don't trust it, and then we are looking for a confirmation or we're looking for someone to confirm that, hey, yeah, that was granddad, or hey, that was my brother or my sister, leaving that sign. I think if we feel it, we just need to start believing and trusting in ourselves just that little bit more. But it is something that we build. It's something that grows. It doesn't just happen overnight. Thanks, Ellen and Julie. Hi, Diana. Gretchen says, I bleached my hair for the first time in several years. Rather than turning the white blonde of my test, I have a bright gold head now. Any suggestions? So what happens with bleach from a hair point of view is that bleach lightens up through the layers of colour and reflect, they called it in the hair. So before it reaches that nice whiter blonde, which is the top, I guess, the top level of bleach that it goes to, it goes through the gold first. So usually it goes through copper. If you've got darker hair, a lot of copper like me, it will go through a coppery tone, then gold for ages until it gets past gold to that white stage. So you may not have left it on for long enough. So to tone down your gold, you need to look at an opposite colour of gold, which is purple. So that's where you get your purple, violet tones, shampoos or mousses. The silvery ones, they will add a violet tone, which actually, you're not making your hair violet, it actually counteracts the warmth of the gold or the yellow that we could call it. So perhaps give that a try. Yeah, it sounds pretty bright. Thanks, Mandy. Hi, Linda. Thanks, Don and Mandy. Thank you, everyone. Julie, you've just caught me before I was about to go. Julie says, I'd just like to let you know that you help to keep me thinking positive when life gets tough. Thank you. Thanks, Julie. That's a beautiful thing to say. I'm so pleased. Thanks, Gretchen. Barbara says, being seeing triple numbers, even 1111, and a lot of 33. So what would that mean for you, Barbara? Maybe a sign that you're on the right path? Maybe something's trying to get your attention, perhaps? What I suggest, if you're getting a lot of repetitive numbers or signs and you don't know what that number means and why does it keep showing up, sometimes it can be a bit frustrating, meditate and ask. You can ask, why do these numbers keep showing up? And then trust in the visual or the feeling that you get as you connect and ask. The answer will come to you. Yes, I'm sure it is bright, Gretchen. Yeah, so maybe even a light brown mousse or something might help, because bleach will grab the colour of what you're putting on. So even though a light brown or a mousse colour is a temporary colour, it will usually grab a little bit on those bright colours. It might also be an opportunity to get some bright red or something happening while you've got those lighter tones. So you could use it to your advantage, maybe turn it into something pretty out there if you have the courage to do so or want to. Hi, Debbie. Debbie says, Mary meet, not real sure what or how I am here, but I am learning to go with the random. I like that. In the last month, my daughter almost died, had emergency surgery 3 days later, my home burned. Lost everything, but most lost was our pets of 15 years. Oh my goodness, Debbie. What an intense time for you. Sending you lots and lots of love. I trust your daughter's feeling better, and I'm really sorry to hear about your beloved pets and your home. I trust that something's happened there for a reason. That's a pretty big lesson, isn't it? So sending you lots of love, and remember just to go gently in those lower moments as you're readjusting and adjusting to this. That's very intense. Thanks, Melissa. You have a beautiful weekend too. Thanks, Ellen. Namaste. Melody says, I'm moving to a different country to be with my true love. Any thoughts? Well, I'm not doing readings, Melody, but I am sending you lots of love, and if it feels right, trust it. My true love came from Texas to Tasmania with a backpack, and we'd never met. We'd only met online and dove in, and it felt right, and it has been right for nearly almost 10 years he's been here. So trust in your heart. It will guide you forward. Thanks, Mandy. Have a great weekend too. Lots of love, Julie. Hi, Lottie. Yeah, lots of love, Debbie. That's a big one, isn't it? So thank you. Before I finish, and Janet needs love too, sending you lots of love as well, and anyone else who needs it, let's grab the singing bell to finish. Where's my beater? Let's grab the singing bell to finish up. So I'm going to play this just for a few minutes, and my intention in playing this is to just hold you in a space of love. So if that love to you needs to be support or strength or healing, then grab that, hold that, find that, embrace that from the sound and the energy of the bell. If there's something else that you need that's more pressing than that, if you need clarity or strength or something that's important to you, then I trust you receive it from the singing bell. So I'm going to play this for a few minutes. There's nothing you can do wrong, so at the very least, just listen. Just listen with an open heart and nice big breaths, and just see how the singing bell feels to you. Where does it touch you in your body? Does it feel like a comfortable sound? Does it feel like an uncomfortable sound? Sorry, Puss, am I not patting you? So just trust what you feel in your body, and breathe in, surround yourself, hold yourself in whatever it represents or feels for you at this time. So, I've got cat hair flying. I'm going to play the bell now, Puss. I think she wants to leap somewhere. So, it goes this way, of course, but I've taken the ringer out and I'm holding it this way. This is a Tibetan singing bell. So, nice deep breath, and we'll create this space together with a purring cat in the background. So, nice deep breath. Hold this space. I'm going to give you a treat, but I have to nip over there for just a moment. So just keep taking some deep breaths. I'm going to get my large singing bowl. This energy feels nice and supportive. So just give me a moment. I'll see if I can go over there with my microphone. Going to lower this a little bit. Yeah, Vanita, I haven't gone anywhere. I'm here every day. Actually, I'm just going to move the microphone because I think this rattles a bit. So just give me a second. It will be worth it if you haven't heard this before. So nice deep breaths. How nice is that? This is like the treat. One day soon, actually, I must get out the wind gong, because the wind gong is also something pretty special. So maybe when I get back from my break towards the end of September or into October, when I do my next healing event, I'll get out the wind gong, because that is special. So how are you feeling? Patty says it helps my pain. Well, that is fantastic, Patty. Lots of love to you. Thank you, Linda, and hello. Mandy feels much lighter and peaceful. Yes, the beautiful, peaceful energy coming in for sure, and lots of support. But this sense of, for me, I was feeling like a settling feeling, like a contentment. You know when peace feels really content? There's a settled, like just a sense of peace of mind or contentment, just knowing that everything's going to be okay, where any worry is just kind of dissolving. It's beautiful. Thank you. Gretchen says perfect. Thank you. Oopsie. Gretchen says perfect, thank you now. Good night. Good night, Gretchen. Diana says exactly what was needed. Thank you. Thanks, Diana. Julie says, beautiful. My cat, Kizzy, enjoyed it too. We'll send a picture separately. Excellent, Julie. Yeah, my cat is still sitting here purring. She loves it. Janet says, it makes me feel relaxed and calm. Yep, I hear you. Thanks, Mandy. Hi, Karina. Don says, still radiating through my hand. Warm, fuzzy, and happy. Wonderful, Don. Hi, Amin. Sorry, I'm totally, probably, most likely not pronouncing your name correctly. But I'm sorry for that. Amin says, thank you, just woke up and ran into you, feeling so awake. Yeah, what a great... Whoops. Hello. What a great way to start the day. See, I just showed you that you're sitting on the back on my kitchen stool. Valentinus feels stronger. Sharon says, thank you, having a bad time. I trust it improves for you, Sharon. Betty says, lovely tone, namaste. Cindy says, the big bowl really resonates out. It does. Debbie says, was soothing. Thank you. Thank you. Karina missed it, just logged on, so we'll have to watch the replay. Yeah, please do if you want to. Sharon says, you always make it better. Well, that's good. I'm so pleased that you get a bit of support and comfort and that you feel a bit better from spending this time with me. That's such an honour. Oh, the cat is squeezing behind me now. And Cynthia says, made me want to take on postures and move. That's great, inspiring movement. So it's getting darker here. It's now 5:30 p.m. So I think it's about time I love you and leave you. Let you get on with the rest of your day. So have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. And I really trust that you feel even a little bit better from our space that's been created. So thank you, and sending you lots of love from my heart to yours. If you want to learn more about the work that I do at Temple of Balance, please visit my website at templeofbalance.com.au. I will do my best to be back on Monday. We have the healing event Monday for the Pillar of Light family, and I will do my best to be back to share some guidance on Monday too. Those of you panicking because I'm about to take 2 weeks off, on Monday the 10th of September, which is my last work day before I turn everything off for 2 weeks, my intention at this time is to share about 1 week's guidance, and then I'll be back on the 24th of September. So I'll let you know that in about 1 week's time when I know what I'm doing. So thank you again, and thank you. Please remember that you are loved and supported, and if you are struggling, I find if I'm struggling, the best thing I can do for myself is to tell myself, go gently. Gently does it. Sometimes we're just way too hard on ourselves, especially in our most challenging and intense of times. So remember, just go gently. Go gently. Be gentle with yourself. So thank you again, and namaste. Namaste means to me, or what am I trying to say? There's a word missing from what I usually say. Namaste to me means that the divine, the creator in me, honours and acknowledges the divine, the creator within you, that we are equal, we are one. So namaste.